And we're actually live right now. How does that feel?
Strange.
Okay, you're going to have to keep yourself unmuted.
Okay, it's
Can you,
strange.
it feels strange? I
Yeah.
know. Like there's the potential
Mm.
of billions of people that could be watching right now. Now there's not.
Billions.
There's
Billions.
literally zero. And soon, here, actually, let's see. I can have, soon there will be one or two, but literally right now, billions of people could be watching.
And I will ignore that.
Okay, you just got you can compartmentalize that.
Deleted.
Deleted. Okay, fantastic. Speaking of which, usually we chat a little bit ahead of time, like I was explaining in the pre-show. This is what we call the pre-show. I sometimes think of it as the red carpet, like, you know, in the Oscars, before the Oscars start, all the people that are coming down, you know, that's, I know. Anyways.
All the people with media training that have handlers behind them, it can totally tell them not to do things.
That's right. And if they see something going wrong, they just sweep them off and say, okay, now we're moving on. Okay, so do you have your handler in case something's not going right? No, you don't. Okay, you're going to have to be your own handler. Okay, so I as I mentioned, like there could be billions of people, but we have like one or two watching. And this is our 80th episode or something like that. It's episode 9 of Kill the Guru, but we've been doing it for about 4 months. It's something around 80. It got messed up because I stopped counting when we started doing Kill the Guru and COVID marketing. And
so it all got very confusing.
It's getting a little bit complicated, which is okay. Life is complicated. And I was reflecting on this because, you know, the team is saying, how do we get more people watching at once? And at one point, we actually were up at about 10 simultaneous viewers. And it's kind of dropped down to a very steady 3, 4, or 5 at the moment. And I realized that for me, this is what I call the long now. This is that point of time when, I mean, everything is only ever now, right? So, you know, we understand that there's a future, but the future, where's the future? Where's our imagining of the future? When is it happening? It's now. And we can remember the past, but where's the memory of the past happening? When?
The point is there's always only one.
Yeah, there's always now. Exactly. So when you're doing something like this, when you're getting out there and engaging with the world, sometimes you're expecting there's a result that you want. And sometimes that result just seems to be ever further away. And it can be the time when, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, or especially as you start to do possibly marketing, and we'll talk about that as we get into the show, Fatima, it can feel like this isn't working. This isn't getting the results I want. And that, especially when you're getting into maybe any kind of on-screen stuff, can feel like I don't want the long now. I want the now that I did a few things and I got the results I wanted. I want to be moving forward quickly through the life, through the universe, whatever it is. And I think, and it happens with businesses, in my personal opinion, I think it happens with so many different things. And so one of the things that I've actually found is if I can settle into the long now, then I'm really appreciating what's going on here. And then what happens is, for some reason, all the sort of positive comments that we've gotten, and we have some regular viewers, and that feels so grateful for the 1, 2, 3, 4 regular viewers that are getting some value out of this, because we're in the long now. So that means I've got a few people joining us with the long now. And then I bizarrely have gotten a really strong affection for those where the feedback is a little bit more critical. Like I've literally had somebody who I trust very much, who I love, who says your execution is abysmal. Don't show this to anybody, right? Until you've done these things.
Hide
like
it.
Really,
bury
it. A lot of love behind what, you know, and the interesting thing is I wasn't worried about changing our execution to be not abysmal. I get it. Okay. I just did not want to stop being in the long now. And, you know, we've improved. I've got a new webcam. I've got these sort of lights things happening over here. Usually I'm doing this at the office, so it offsets my whatever wackiness that we're doing with a professional background so that we're not embarrassing to clients or the client, or the intention of this show, which a result that we'd like, of course, is to get clients and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're working through these things, but you know, if our show was still abysmal, I would still be doing it, because not only do I like the potential results, but I am really enjoying right now. So with that, that's how we do
but I have a question. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Go for it. No. Go for the question. We actually, listen, it's 11:12. We've already passed our 11:11 deadline. So why not ask the question? And sorry to everybody else there. So go for it, Fatima.
I love the hat.
That is such a great addition. It's either hats or glasses. We have to look stunning. Fatima, what's the question you have?
Why do you do this?
You mean embarrass ourselves or the show?
Well, the show. Like, what made you do this? Like, what was the impetus behind you deciding to just be like, you know what? I am going to go ahead and be online, making either a fool of myself or looking ridiculous, or having people I respect and care about use words like abysmal to my face.
Okay, so okay, I'm going to try to make this a very short answer, and we can get into it maybe in the after show if we want to have an after show. The reason why I'm doing this is because when all the COVID and the pandemic and the lockdowns and all the type of stuff with business started going, I actually said to the team, we have got a lot of expertise. We've been doing this for 25 years, and we can have a huge impact in the world, at least with our clients. And so I was like, enough of this, we'll get to it. We'll eventually get to it. Maybe there's a little bit of fear going on there. Maybe there's a little bit of different, and the fear isn't necessarily getting in front of the camera, although there is some of that, or there was some of that. There's none of that now. I'm really fine with that. But part of it is also fear of, I got to, you know, really super optimize my business and pay attention to it and go out and make sales. And why am I, you know, I'm spending some time here, and why am I not calling people up so they can give me money? And when the pandemic went down, when all of this stuff happened, I said, enough. There's abundance in the world. I'm cool. We're cool. We're just going to, the only way you can get through something like this is to not be slowly tightening yourself up. You just got to expand, get out there, show up in the world, because the world freaking needs us. All of us. If we all showed up in the world, there is no recession anymore. And I get it. Yes, make sure your cash flow fits and all that kind of stuff. So, and you're investing time instead of money. That's totally fine. But don't shrink back and say, oh my gosh, it's scary out there. Because quite frankly, for the most part, and I'm not dismissing the fact that there are some people that are really going through a really horrible time. There was always people going through a really horrible time. But for the most part, especially in North America, we are so okay. We really are. And everybody's going through their own personal experience, and where you're at, if you're not okay, please reach out and we'll work to support you on that. But there's a lot of, I need to pull back because of course it's scary. This is really radically unknown. Like there's like no way, like you walk into a grocery store in March and April and you're like, that's different. So I get the fear, but also there's that opportunity to expand out and say, I can hold that fear, you know, put it to one side, delete the fact that there could be billions of people watching or whatever it happens to be, and just get out there and show up. And when you show up, oh my gosh, this world is brilliant. So this show daily brings me back into that, in the now. And so, yes, I can do this every single freaking day because that's what it feels for me. And every now and then, actually almost every day, somebody says, that was awesome. Thank you so much. It might be one person. And sometimes that doesn't happen. It's like, but okay, that was awesome for me. Thank you so much for doing that for me. That's why I do this show. That's why we got out there. So
I can feel my heart beating a little bit right now. That was enthusiastic, Brent.
Okay. Thank you. That was the 11/11 experience that we should be going for. Now we're going to get into the show. You ready for this? Yeah. Yes, you got your hat. All right, let's go for it. We got great intro music by a fellow named David Blackmore. You can hear it?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Kill the Guru.
That's right. We are live with Kill the Guru, episode number 9, where we stop the consumption and start the action. We, Brent and Arthur, gurus of marketing, dish out some advice real time to our guests, small business owners. They go away, they do it, they come back, and they let us know what worked, what didn't work, what was gold, and what was BS for them. And in doing so, they become their own gurus. So yes, I am Brent Kobayashi, president of Kobayashi Zeitguys, a marketing agency here in Toronto, Canada. And with me is Mr. Arthur Tutt, a marketing specialist at the KZ, because we're talking Canada this time, not the KZ, like I usually do. So if you like what you see, share this show with your friends, click subscribe, click the bell, click the notify buttons, do that magical long now gig that allows you to tune in forever, because it is going to be forever. Today, we're excited to have a special guest joining us, Fatima Kamenge. Fatima is a serial entrepreneur and strategy consultant who is committed to empowering people through business development and financial independence. She currently serves as head of Social Awesome, a consulting firm on impact, sustainability, financial resilience for mission-based social enterprise and small world. Fatima, I don't know if you know this, but you are on Vibe Arts Children and Youth Board, right? Toronto? Are you still on there?
Yes, I am. Yes,
okay.
I am.
Vibe Arts is an ex-client of ours. Yeah,
Really?
I know them actually quite well. They're a fantastic organization. I'm so excited that you're on there. We built a website for them way back when.
It's a gorgeous website.
Well, not the current one. So it maybe was a gorgeous website, maybe not gorgeous enough. Although, to be fair, I think they had some internal resources and they wanted to go in a different direction and all that kind of stuff. One thing that's really super, and the reason why I bring that up, right? Because, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, ex-client, maybe possibly embarrassing. We're very happy with what we're doing. I think things changed over there, but it doesn't matter. The most important thing on Kill the Guru, Fatima, is we don't care if what we ask you or suggest you to do, you think about it and you say, on the show, I don't like that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or you come back after trying it and you're saying, that didn't work. That's the whole point of this show, is that it is intended to be real, not polite.
Be ruthless.
I do like that realm.
Okay.
I do like that realm.
Yeah. So. Wonderful. So Fatima, it's great to have you. Why don't you give us a very brief background about yourself before we get into the show? I actually feel like we also need you to come back as a guest expert, but I really want to today focus on what you need or could use to provide some value so you can go away and do this marketing thing that you're perhaps not so sure about. So tell us about yourself.
I don't know where to start, but I'm going to be inspired by what you were talking about and how the pandemic, the COVID situation, and the world discovering Black Lives Matter changed my view of my way of existing in the world. I've been in entrepreneurship since I was 15. Mostly in Africa, which is a realm of entrepreneurship that's very different than in Canada, where I currently live. In Africa, when you're in entrepreneurship, you get to write the rules, which is not a good thing in many ways, because you get to write the rules, but that means that there are no rules and there are no safeties, no structures, often not very efficient governments to work with.
Gotcha.
But it makes entrepreneurship be able to leapfrog in ways that isn't possible whenever there are set structures. I've been in business for a long time, and for me, business has always been social enterprise. It is business that brings value to the world, whether through the environment, its people, or building communities to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. I'm going to take my hat off so that you can see my face. You know, I have hat hair. And I have never had to market myself, to market my services. I've always relied on the fact that I do the work, the good work. Someone else usually picks me up. But then with COVID and with the pandemic, I was called to what my responsibility is into the world. And the fact that staying so small in what I do is making it impossible for maybe someone else, it's just one single person, to be able to learn about something that I have to share.
Yeah.
To be able to see the world in a different way, to maybe just participate in this world that I want us all to build, which is a world of generosity and kindness and love, which is one that I know exists just as brutally as I know that the other side of the world, where people see me and feel fear, is very present, especially in the Western Hemisphere. So I don't know if that says anything about who I am, but this is who I am today.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you. So I've got to say, I'm really, really, really pleased that we're getting to catch up and kind of just, I don't know how long our journey together is going to be or how often or anything else like that. It could be just today and then a little bit in the future, but I'm really, really honored that you chose to be on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so it is intended to be a bit of a short show.
Okay.
So we have maybe a little 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I really, really am excited to have you on again, both on Kill the Guru, to see how whatever we do today continues, but as a guest expert. So let's make sure we make that happen.
I'm excited for it.
Yes, because we need to get to those billions of people, right?
Yes.
This is a mission. Got it. Okay, so why don't we start first of all to give ourselves a bit of context to see how we can support you. I think I understood it a little bit, but maybe you can be specific about your business. What do you do?
Let's take your business. I come in, I take a look at how you operate, how you treat your people, how you treat yourself, how you treat the world, and what your service or product actually does into the world, the true impact of it. How much value does it bring? How does it affect the communities that you work in? And what are you bringing to the world with that business? And me using a combination of business and community work, we just amplify it. If you're within a certain community, we make sure, okay, how can you serve them better? But also, how do we make sure that in a way you're solving the cause of the problem? Like you're healing the cause of the problem, not just putting a Band-Aid on what you're actually addressing.
And so would this always be with self-identified social enterprises, or would this also apply to any business or any business who wants to have a community portion or give back portion? Like who does it tend to be? And I'm talking about primary audience for you. Maybe your answer is anything, but what would primary audience be for you?
Well,
we're now talking business for you, like
business.
specifically for you. Yeah.
In my opinion, any business that has clients, it has a community.
Yeah.
You have a community.
That's a pretty simple definition.
It's like, find a business that doesn't have a community. I dare you. Not every single one of them has a community. Is it defined? Is it clear? Maybe not. But there is a community for every business. Every business has impact, whether negative or positive. It has impact. Whether you sell tomatoes by the side of Nairobi, or you are Amazon and are in every single one of our houses, you have a community. So I don't know how to. So for me, it is for every business that wants to do good.
I'm literally had chills. I have chills going over my body right now, because as you say that, and I mean, maybe it's obvious as you talked about where you are right now, but I'm just like, oh my goodness, the world needs you right now, who's thinking about this, not just for those, center of social innovation businesses that are already geared towards, I know what I want to do, a certain percentage of all my stuff, this is how we're doing it. But my business, anybody's business in the world, is probably ready, or a lot of them are ready and primed with everything that's happened. And I'm just going to say, pandemic, Black Lives Matter. We're just going to put those two things together in our North American context right now. And a lot of people are saying, okay, I'm ready. And I love that along with the pandemic, Black Lives Matter, the other top thing I've heard is our indigenous people is the other sort of almost, this is what the conversation's going on about. And I think a lot of people are just like, we've been hearing it, we've been hearing it, we've been hearing it, we've been hearing it. And I really think this is your time. Or at least you have a time to contribute in a way that will be both impactful. You've been doing your thing for a while. You've got word of mouth business, which means that you've actually are able to provide value. That's the only way you get word of mouth business, is if you provided value to somebody and they thought that you were good. So you've got all of the basis. Okay, so let's get into, let's specifically stay with our show, because we're going to have you back and I want to really dig into this a lot more. I really, really do. But you mentioned that marketing's not been your strong suit.
No.
Okay, so tell me what's put you off marketing, or what you think marketing is, or is it?
To be honest, I've just experienced a lot of bad marketing. A lot of predatory marketing, a lot of marketing that made me feel like I was at the wrong end of the bargain.
Okay. Do you have a specific example, or if it's just sort of a general feel?
Any ad that I've seen out there is trying to sell me something. It's not trying to give me value. It's not trying to improve my life. It's trying to sell me something. It is clear in everything that comes out of there that it is not about making me happy. It's not about bringing me joy. It is not about reducing my stress. It is not about, like, my definition of ROI is very much about, how am I getting you better? How am I truly improving your life?
Gotcha.
Ads don't do that to me.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yes. I mean, ads are quite often about conversion, right? Mm-hmm. They're also, let's get you in the funnel. There might be value to you, but you have to decide, do I value buying that car right now, or do I not? And I get that you're trying to manipulate me. And maybe I don't even get that you're trying to manipulate me, because you've shown me this many times. And it's kind of in the back of my head that for some reason I should go into a Honda dealership. Okay, that's where I'll go, because I've gotten some sort of emotional shift. Like, that's, a lot of what it feels like. That's the experience I think you're describing.
Exactly.
Okay. And for you, that does not feel aligned. You don't feel an integrity with that.
No.
Okay. All right. So good. That's the basis. And yet now you're on a show about marketing.
Yes.
And so it sounds like, as you said, things have changed. It's not so much word of mouth. I heard two things. Things have changed. So therefore the business isn't necessarily coming in the way it was before. And two, very more poignantly, you're seeing maybe marketing as a way of getting your voice into the world and having more impact.
Exactly.
Is that true? Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. I'm so happy. I'm ridiculously happy right now. Okay. So, one of the things, as Maggie and you were chatting a little bit, was a little bit around boundaries. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious about that. I didn't really read, like, to you, what is boundaries in business? I just want to make sure we're framing exactly where we're going with what I think would be great for you.
So in a business like mine, when you're selling a service and you're selling a way of thought, like it is part of you. It's the part of your essence, part of it. Like, it's almost like an artist in many ways. It's the artist in business.
Right.
And hardcore business with spreadsheets. And I think spreadsheets are art.
Thank you. Okay, you and I are gonna be really good friends. Me too. Okay. Look, okay, just a little quick aside about, hey, you want to talk about VLOOKUPs? Anyways, continue.
Macros.
Oh yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
So boundaries for me, then there is a point of like, okay, how can I market in a way that is about who I am and what I believe and what I care about, without showing you the deep down inside of my septic system, like, meaning like, and by that I mean like the everything about my life and everything. Like, how do I show you what matters? How do I choose what matters without showing you the full 360 4D picture?
Okay, and is it that you feel like there's a drive towards the full 4D picture because of a need on the internet and social right now to be so authentic and vulnerable and deep? Or is it you don't want to do that because you feel like it's giving away too much?
It's a bit of both, I would say.
Okay.
And there's the pressure to be vulnerable and authentic and whatever that looks like on the internet. And then also, there is a reason why social media hasn't been my way. I like showing up into the world and not needing to capture everything and share with everyone.
Gotcha. Okay. So, have you thought about anything that you think would work for you?
Many thoughts, but nothing that has made me really stick. I mean, I'm everywhere. And I'm like, maybe I should share about my values and what they matter in this format. I should do a blog so that I can talk about like impact investing and how great that possibly is. And I should share a manifesto about my way of thought and systems thinking and ecosystem building and like a lot of different things. Ideas abound. And it's like, oh, maybe I should just target LinkedIn and write LinkedIn articles and do this in this way. Maybe I should make a YouTube series about how to actually build a business model that is socially enterprising. Like, there's just many things going on in my head.
There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things.
Okay. And we didn't even get into TikTok yet.
No.
Okay, so Fatima.
Yes.
All I'm going to invite you to do is to consider is, as a business person, entrepreneur, no, or maybe not. I would actually suggest you go for maybe not. I'm just going to invite you to this because I get what TikTok can feel like or look like or maybe mean. And you may say, listen, it's too confusing right now with the Chinese government and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to go there. However, one of the things I would encourage you to think about is every single social platform, just like I say, business is people, every single social platform is people. And so what's happening on something like TikTok, as much as it started like everybody just does a dance or it's something like a specific way, every single one of those social platforms, because it's people, turns into, we're going to talk about life and philosophy. We're going to talk about real serious spreadsheets. Like, there are actually people on TikTok doing Excel, like, I kid you not, Excel spreadsheet walkthroughs, and they're getting traction.
Oh.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean we would even think of you going there or starting there or anything. What I would encourage you to think from a business entrepreneur perspective is always, maybe, even if the decision is not right now. Just maybe. This is my point of view. If for you, no, like, you know, for me, I'm very much not I have a difficult time with specific. I can make a decision, but I have a very difficult time ruling out anything. That's just my particular whatever wiring up here.
I could use some help with singularity or focus is the point. It's like, what do I start with?
Gotcha.
I have 10 brilliant ideas. Which one do I focus on?
Okay. So for you, is there anything that comes to you most naturally? Talking, interacting with people, video, writing? Is there anything that's particularly works for you historically?
Historically, I can put words together beautifully,
Gotcha.
and I perform as a spoken word artist. So that is something that I do in person. I can communicate. My words really paint a beautiful picture when put together.
Okay. Wow. I actually really want you on TikTok now. I'm serious. Okay. All right. So we'll come back to that in a moment. So if in terms of 10 brilliant ideas, and this is what we're going to do. I want you to be moving forward with action more than I want you to be doing the right thing.
Sounds good.
Action right now in our world of, quite frankly, abundance. Like there's a ridiculous amount of options. There's a ridiculous amount of opportunity. There's a ridiculous amount for us to learn. There's a ridiculous amount of connection. It literally, in my opinion, my point of view, does not matter the decision you make or the action you take, so long as you are taking action in a direction that you think you want to go. So there is I want to get to, and we'll talk about higher impact or whatever it is. If you want to really dig into what I think of as vision, maybe you already have visioning down, but 2 episodes ago, we really dug into at least my point of view on visioning, or what I've learned about visioning, which I think is really super powerful. But once you've got the vision, and I think you're very clear on your vision, it does not matter actually the action you take, because you're either going to do the successful thing, you're going to enjoy it, so therefore you're going to keep on doing it, or you're going to learn, oh, not that. And it's more important, like literally if a baby thought, which way do I want to move my leg to learn how to walk? And I'm going to think about what's the best way that's not going to embarrass me, or this or that or whatever. The baby, the baby learns how to walk because they take action all the time. Like literally, I used to tell my children that a 2-year-old or 6-month-old is the smartest person ever, because they're the ones who are really growing and learning, and all the neurons, they're just going like crazy. They don't have the knowledge yet, but in terms of actual IQ, I'd say that's when you're probably the most smartest. In my, again, point of view. I share my points of view a lot. So what brilliant idea are you going to take action on? What do you think you want to do?
I want to create, again, I've searched on YouTube for this. I haven't found someone who has put together a really nice video tutorial on how to create socially conscious business plan. That is a business plan, by the way. That is not just about how do you impact people, which is great.
Okay.
But how is this going to make money is really important as a question to ask when you're looking at a business, especially one that actually brings value. Because if it doesn't bring in money, you can't really continue with your mission. Gotcha.
Okay. And so is that something that you can take on? You're going to start recording video on this?
Yeah. I think, yes, the world is telling me I need to.
Okay.
As you can see the resistance in my face as I yes.
Okay, that's why you're here.
I just need to tell you though, Fatima, you are fantastic on camera. Like, you're clearly a natural. And I'm not just trying to pump your ego.
Thank you.
Okay, so now let's actually dig into this a little bit. This is where the show gets interesting, because I'm happy if people are watching. All I really want to do is dig into this and get you value. So we could go deeper and everybody can be like, this is not relevant to me. That doesn't matter. So when you're, tell me a little bit more. So you're going to record a bunch of videos, or
Yeah.
the idea is to do some videos about how to have a profitable, like put together a business plan. Is that correct? Business plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
On how to actually really do this. So what would be your process to do that? How would you put that together?
I've been doing a lot of research and I've been wondering. Originally, I thought I would just have a really nice slide deck and talk through it.
Yeah.
But like, no, because my face needs to be on this camera as well. Because now there's all sorts of layers behind the fact that it needs to come from faces like mine saying what I'm saying should also be shown.
Good.
Ideally, I'd find someone else who looks like me and do this for me, but don't have the budget for that.
Yeah, I think it's got to be you.
Sorry, Fatima. Ideally not. Okay.
It's got to be you.
We're going to do some personal development, growth, healing stuff and get you on camera, right? Okay, good stuff. Okay.
we're gonna that's currently happening somewhere else. But the point is, and that's what actually has brought me to the point where I need to be on camera doing this, and it should be me. But I do. So I'm being on camera answering a list of questions. The way I work usually is I ask a question to the founders, the team, and then considering how they answer that question, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, build your own systems together.
Good.
And also come to the same understanding of what that word means to you.
Okay, good.
So pretty much doing a series of, value definition. What does that even mean? And in the context of social impact, what does that even mean? So it's deconstructing the business plan, making it accessible using words that most people would speak, because most social entrepreneurs or most entrepreneurs don't actually speak business speak. The world we're going into right now is one where most people haven't gone to business school. So speaking to those people, making it accessible for them. Because the private clients will be people that understand my MBA words. But the people watching the YouTube video, probably not. And I don't want it to be a thing that in order for you to get into business, you should have gone to Harvard Business School.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so this is how I think I can see this playing out. Do you feel more comfortable doing something like this when you're interacting with another person? Yes. Okay, so this is what I think you could do and see if it fits for you to be the next step. Okay. I feel more comfortable. The reason why we do a live show is because if I were to try to record this kind of stuff at a camera, nobody around, trying to work off of a script, it would be horrible for me. Arthur being on the show, you being on the show makes a world of difference. Okay. I get to forget that I'm trying to do this or be something or somebody. So what you can do is you can, via Zoom, start a thing with somebody else. Okay, so it's the two of you. You can share your screen. So you can have PowerPoint. When you're sharing your screen, this is going to be interesting. So you're going to have to play with it a bit. And we're willing to support you a little bit on this. You can use something called Loom. Loom. Is it .com or where is it, Arthur?
Let me just check. I think it's loom.com.
I'm familiar with it.
You're already familiar with Loom.
Yes.
Maybe Arthur, you can throw that into the chat so that anybody who's watching can get a link to the thing. And so that way you can record as well as have your face or your faces on it. I'm not sure there's a little bit of a technical gap that I'm perceiving might be there, but we're going to see if we can get this having, so that there's two of you on it so that you can be explaining and have that interaction. Yes, it is Loom, LOOM.com. Thank you, Arthur. And you're going to only choose a small bit. Okay. Okay. So exactly like you said, what was it? Value definition. So value definition. We're going to talk about value. Yeah. What's your value proposition? What's your value definition? What does it mean? And that's it. That's all. You can do it in one take. You can have it be, however it is that, gets you to the point of actually clicking publish and putting it up on YouTube. Okay. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I started one, but I have not posted any videos, but
Okay.
I have one.
So I would encourage you to do this one thing this next week. If you can't find another person, just do it and click publish.
Okay.
If you think this needs editing, because you're an artist, you're a spoken word artist, you are maybe very good with your words and written word and performing all this type of stuff. But you may look at it and say, there's more I want to do. I want to get into video editing. I want to chop this part out and connect this part and all that kind of stuff. I'd actually like you to, because you already know this as an artist, for this, because it's maybe more challenging from business, publish it. Nobody's going to see it anyways. I'm just telling you that right now. This is the beginning of the journey, and see how that feels. You don't have to do that. And then start doing a bunch of small chunks. And then what we're going to do is on a future episode, we'll get you to, have you joined our Kill the Guru Facebook group?
I will after this.
Yes, awesome. We'll continue to support you in what do you now do? How do you leverage that video? Because one of the things that happens, especially with social media and marketing, we feel like what this needs to do is broad and big and get to thousands or whatever it is. And we forget that that's not how business often works. Like, Fatima, my business, by meeting you right now, might have paid for it doesn't have to, all of the COVID marketing that we've done, because for some reason you may 3 years from now introduce me to a Fortune 500 company. Who knows, right?
Who knows?
Or this video right now might be the perfect video for me to share with somebody. And that makes the difference. Or it's the perfect video I would even say in our case, we have 80 videos or something like that on this. Somebody who checks out our YouTube says, okay, they're really active. I guess I'll buy from them. So it really is not something about mass. That can be a result, and that even can be a goal and all that kind of stuff. But it can be even just somebody who's thinking about using you, seeing your video where there's 14 views on your video and saying, oh, I like her. Now I'm going to work with her. And that's it. And then you already got your ROI and all that kind of stuff from doing it. Other than the actual internal ROI of getting more comfortable with a huge way that the world communicates right now. Like, this is what the world is doing. And it's accelerated in this day and time. So how does that sound? Does that sound?
It just needed to hear someone hold me accountable to the fact that I just now said that in public, that I'm working on this and I now can't have any other choice but do it.
I'm so like potentially billions of people could see this.
Again, no one will see this.
Well, actually, that's not true, because there's at least 2 people watching right now, and our numbers on this restream chat are actually not accurate. I've already identified that, so it could be a few of we have a few VIPs that return regularly. It's so awesome, and it's like I said during the Long Now discussion in the pre-show that it really means a lot to us. Okay, wonderful. So you have an action that you're committed to. Shall we put a timestamp on it?
It doesn't work if you don't.
Yeah.
What's the date today? July 10th. Okay, I guess next Friday it should be up.
Yes. Okay, good stuff.
I like the enthusiasm.
Does that sound like enthusiasm to
No,
you?
it didn't, but that's okay. It sounded like anxious enthusiasm.
But it was jumping in.
It sounded like the way I sound as soon as I hear that I need to get a root canal. That's what that sounds like.
All right. Okay. So be gentle with yourself next Friday. Wonderful that we're very happy to be your accountability buddy on this. And let's check in on Friday. Do you want to be back on the show for a very brief bit? Not the whole show?
Yeah, sure. A quick bit.
Awesome. So you're going to come back on the show and give us a quick update.
Will do.
I've done a lot of I've led a lot of masterminds as well as been in masterminds. I'll say this right now. Are you 100% committed to this?
I am.
Wonderful. From a growth perspective, next Friday when you come on, if you haven't done it, I still want you to come on.
Okay.
Because it's more important what showed up and what happened. Even if you got way too busy, couldn't do it, it doesn't matter what the reason is. That's where the benefit of us having this conversation will now be further increased just by having you on the show next Friday. Obviously, if something major happens, it's fine. But that's how I view declaring our actions with commitment. Yes. All right.
Okay.
Fatima,
all right. Now I need to figure out how long it needs to be. What's the right way of I'm going to do all the questioning in my head. And then figure that out.
We're going to send you an invite to the Facebook group. If you have any questions at all, post it in there. It's a small group right now, so we're giving everybody who's in there a lot of attention. So if anybody wants to join, you go to facebook.com/groups/killtheguru, because we want to not be your guru. We don't actually want to be dead, but we want to not be the guru anymore. We want to be supporting you, facilitating you, and you to be the guru.
I've added a link to the group in the chat, and
Awesome.
Also I've added a link to Fatima as well, to your LinkedIn page, so people can come and check you out.
Please
Fantastic.
do check me out.
Anywhere else other than
and
your
my
LinkedIn?
Instagram, by the way, which is my last name, Kamengef. That's it. I've put it on private since last Wednesday. So, sorry, not private, on public since last Wednesday. It went from private to public.
Good, showing up in the world.
I'm here now.
Oh my gosh, you feel like free falling? Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anywhere else that we can find you? Website address, anything else like that?
Well, just the Instagram and the LinkedIn for now, and the website should be coming soon.
Wonderful. Arthur, if you could see if you can figure out the Instagram as we go into our outro. We have an outro too.
Ooh.
What's your handle again on Instagram?
Kamengef.
Last name, first initial. Oh,
Last name first.
Fatima on life?
Pretty much. That's what I'm high on.
Love it so much. All right, let's go into the outro and end this so amazing episode. Fatima. Okay, I'll do the outro thing and then I'll give you much more love.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Yeah.
Kill the guru.
So ominous. I love it so much. That's right. That was Kill the Guru, episode number 9. We're here with Fatima. Joining us, Kamenge. I have to say it nice and slow. Perfect. Thank you so much, Fatima. We are back on Monday, where we are going to dig into more amazing local SEO, learning about the map platforms, a little known secret to help you outrank your competition. So if you want the edge, your local business, you definitely want to tune in on Monday's show. The next show, it's not a Kill the Guru show, it's a COVID marketing show, number, 70 something or other. We're doing this. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much once again, Fatima, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I love that you put the hat on again, just for the intro and outro. It's so important.
And Fatima, we got a comment from Patricia saying, "Wow, Fatima, you are an inspiration and so powerful. Thank you for sharing your purpose."
Yeah.
Thank you, Patricia.
Patricia's one of our favorites.
She sounds like she's pretty wonderful.
She is. She absolutely is. We're all wonderful. Everybody's wonderful. I actually really, truly believe that, even when some of us are having challenges showing up in the world that way. And so, Fatima, you coming to show up in the world the way you are and deciding to do this, committing to do this, means that I believe more opportunity for people to show up in the world in a way that they are going to really, really love and enjoy and feel valued and give value. Like, so good. All right.
Thank you for creating a platform where one can dip their toes in and feel so safe and supported, because it just seems like a normal Zoom call, but it's not.
It's not. It's billions and billions and billions of people from now till eternity.
There's only about 8 billion in the world.
At the moment, but this is digital. This can go on forever. Like literally, okay, Fatima, I want us all, Arthur, Fatima, Arthur, can you switch this from being presenter view so that everybody can see all of us?
I have seen all of you the whole time.
I know we have, but I don't think the world has.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Are we in
the world is waiting.
Yeah, the world is waiting
for these 3 people on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine's on gallery view.
You're on gallery view now? Okay, so Arthur, Fatima, I want you to realize that this is an absolute possibility right now. So this is digital, and it's quite possible that for some reason we become like incredibly like what I mean, like I don't know, for
famous.
some reason, famous, right? But might not happen for another 1,000 years. Just saying, right? And because this is digital and can be kept forever, and forever, infinity is actually a long time. I'd actually argue, so long as we can do what we're talking about today, which is social good and impact and all that kind of stuff, we're increasing the chances of this being, we have actually literally today increased the chances of this video being seen by trillions upon trillions of people. Because,
I mean, what you're saying kind of reminds me of the story of Rodriguez, who got famous in South Africa and had no idea about it.
I don't know that story.
Sugarman?
I don't know that story, but I really like that idea.
I've heard of that.
There was a singer in the US back in like the 60s who some thought maybe could have been like the next Bob Dylan, completely tanked in the US, but somehow his music got to South Africa. And he had a whole cult following in South Africa, had no idea about it. He went on with his life, became like a carpenter, builder, something, completely forgot about it. But like people in South Africa just like loved him, and he had no idea.
That is so good.
That is literally my goal.
Yeah. Okay, so Fatima, okay, this is something that you can do and we can get into later.
Yes.
Is once you've got your videos, one of the things that I did, I have liked to do kind of wacky videos. And I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I had heard of Sugar Man. I'm not sure where this idea came from. I thought I did this one video where my wife and I were in Hong Kong, and we were going on this gondola up to see this Buddha statue or whatever, the giant Buddha. And as we were coming back down, and I looked at the pole that was in the middle of this gondola, and I said, I wonder if the same people who make this pole are the same people that make stripper poles. It was just a thought that went through my mind, right? I was like, is it the same? This could be a stripper pole. And so I said to my wife, can you film me? And I did a strip tease and I put it on the internet. Okay. I can see right now that you are thinking heavily about what this could possibly mean, but that's my sense of humor.
It would mean that you have the upper body strength to do a strip tease. That's impressive.
It's not easy. It's not. I took pole dancing classes. It is hard.
My daughter actually gave me pole dancing classes. I haven't taken them yet. She must have saw my video and said, Dad, you need some help. Okay. So anyways, I decided to advertise that around the world for many different reasons. One of the thought was there might be a place in the world, which like, we love his humor. We love that. And I really thought I could become famous some part in the world on that one video. I didn't, but I did find out that people in Bali are really much more engaged and like me more than people in Utah. Just saying.
Demographics.
I wasn't going to necessarily assume any one way, but I advertise all the way around the world. And that's where I was clicking there, Jamaica, at least were the least expensive to get the number. So it could also have been local economies as well. So your next step could be to take your thing and not necessarily try to break through in Toronto. It could be to actually get an audience somewhere around the world. And it might be a better it might be an interesting economic model. Just saying.
I mean, this whole thing is meant to go global, in my opinion. I'm not the only person who's talking like this. I think this discourse, this conversation is finally seeping into the right places.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm excited and I'm scared. And I think it's the same thing. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Forward to that.
All right, Fatima, thank you so much for joining us. Arthur, Arthur usually goes and cut it. So we'll let him do that. And then we're going to talk just a short bit. So, because we always talk a little bit right after.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming to join us, Fatima. Really, really had a great show today.
Thank you.
And now we'll cut it.
Okay.
Sweet.